Yeah, it's there's I mean there's no secret. There's politics to this, and there's a backstage presence, and and I always say it to a lot of the young guys. You know what I mean? And this is why this is one of the toughest jobs ever, because not only do you have to be a great performer, you have to be a likable human being. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to have some sort of power of persuasion. You have to be able to handle yourself in a locker room situation, in a business office situation. You know what I mean? You have to be able to negotiate for yourself. You have to be a jack of all trades. So I always tell the younger guys, quit sitting in this locker room. Get out of the locker room. Quit playing video games and go and network. You know what I mean? That's what I learned in college. You know what I mean? Is make relationships. Even if you're doing, really good in a class, get to know the professor, because who knows what's going to happen after you're done with that class. Once you pass that class with flying colors and you're looking for a job, you know what I mean? It's going to come down to that, it's not what you know, it's who you know, but it's not really who you know, it's how you know them. So I've always been big on building relationships. And I think that just comes from my family and my upbringing and my mother and just how, all my cousins and my father and just how they did it. You know what I mean? I think that's how we've managed to stay in this business for so long as a family, because we just understand that. And I think, for the most part, we're genuine people who enjoy what we do and the people we're around. So it makes it really easy when you enjoy your job and your coworkers. And I think that's what's helped me the most.
So 1 year ago, following up on that main event topic, you were in the main event, WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, middle of the ring with The Undertaker. Kind of curious, I've been curious for the last year, whether that match lived up to your expectations.
I don't think it ever could, really. You know what I mean? I feel like I had it's a hard spot to be The Undertaker, to have such a storied career, to have such, you know what I mean, just a huge list of just ridiculously good matches, and to have that respect, and then to have that mystique, and have that, that reputation as the godfather of the professional wrestling and sports entertainment business. You know what I mean? So everybody's thought about, man, what would it be like to be, in a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, to where you hype it up so much that it's almost unfair to him, I think. You know what I mean? So for me, what made it really, hard was how heavy it was. And if I wrestled Undertaker 20 years ago in the beginning of his career, or, the middle of it, would it be like that? Probably not. But I mean, the positioning that I found myself, it just felt really heavy and so much more emotional than I was ready for it to be. So I think that was the hardest thing. And, but the coolest thing, because I think that just shows the gravity of the situation, the responsibility of the placement, and just who I was sharing the ring with, and that's how special, a character, and talking about what we were, kind of talking about before, the politics, the backstage, obviously nobody navigated that path better than The Undertaker, because everybody you could ever think of in this business, as far as WWE is concerned, has a huge amount of respect for that man. So I just feel like, in some way I wasn't good enough, or maybe it could have been better on my behalf, but I just, I always hold Undertaker so high in that regard that, I just feel like, maybe I could have been better, but I enjoyed it. I really learned a huge amount in the ring with him, to only be in there for a couple times, and one singles match, and especially to have it be, at that level, to be able to just pick something up in 30, 40 minutes from another performer it just goes to show how good he is, because I shared the ring with a lot of really good wrestlers, and to be able to pick up on stuff that he does, and to see the difference, first person up front and, personal, it really was special. And I'm very proud of that, because I'm going to be one of the only guys that said they've been in the ring and wrestled The Undertaker. You know what I mean? If John Cena gets the opportunity to do it this year, it's not the same for him, because he's been in the locker room with him. He shared, a tour bus with him. They've been around the world together. They've shared the same locker room, and a lot of the guys in our locker room now can't say that. So it's a shame, really.